Welcome to the wonderful world of dodgy movies with me, your host, movie and TV Mistress. This week, I watched a foreign film. So this week, I watched a film called The Night Evelyn Came Back from the Grave. That's the entire plot of the movie in a nutshell. Not really. Now, this movie is a Italian Gailo film. What's Gailo, you ask? Well, in Italian, it means yellow. You were hoping for a joke, weren't you? No joke today on that word. But let me explain. Gailo cinema is based on Gailo books. They were paperback books that were printed with yellow paperback covers. They tend to be murder mysteries, thriller horrors, sexploitation, psychological horror, supernatural horror. So pretty much horror in general, but with a bit of mystery thrown in. So it's not like your American horror where you've just got an unstoppable force coming after you. There's something there that needs to be discovered. This movie kind of tries to throw everything at you at once, and it's all in there just for you. So that's what Gailo is. It's about a guy called Alan who's into mental hospital, who seems to get sane but still has issues about his red-headed dead wife. So much so that he keeps trying to kill redheads that he brings back to his place. The movie sort of stops at that, and a woman escapes, and then all of a sudden he's persuaded by his psychiatrist to marry somebody to get over his dead wife.
All right, Richard. I'll try to do as you say.
And Alan, you should get married again. It's the best thing you can do.
All right, I will.
Is that a promise?
If I find the right girl, I'll marry her.
Good.
That he has issues with, because he keeps seeing her naked, running through a field, having sex with somebody. Makes sense. So he falls in love with a strawberry blonde. It's a fainter version of a redhead, but she's still a redhead. It's just not bright orange. New wife is investigating the tomb, and the tomb is empty. And then people die? Yeah. Then it turns out that the two people who died, who you thought might have been the people that were trying to do this, aren't. And you thought that Alan, who was the killer from the start, is not the killer. Turns out it's his new wife and his cousin. And they get killed. And the movie's over. And Alan got away with murder from the start of the movie because everyone's blaming his new wife and cousin. That's the movie that I just watched. The acting isn't awful. The dubbing's weird. There is so much sex in this and so much tits. At one point, I was wondering why it was always that every single woman in this film wears no bra. Now, I know on a hot day, and I mean it is roasting here in England at the moment, on a very hot day, the last thing I want to do is wear a bra. Maybe it was really hot in Italy, I don't know. It was 1971. I know women's lib had taken over. Maybe all the women's lib were just pissed off of feeling hot and sweaty down in there, and they just decided to burn all their bras and get rid of them. Who knows? But seriously, this movie is just full of tit shots. So much so that I'm actually afraid to put any clips in case I accidentally leave a tit shot in. So, the actor, the lead actor who plays Alan, who we're never entirely sure if he's sane or not, and whether or not he did the murders at the start, but I think he did, is played by Anthony Stefan. Now, Anthony Stefan is quite a well-known Italian actor and has done lots of Gailo films. and has done a lot of spaghetti westerns. One that he's very well known for is Django the Bastard, where he plays Django. And on the cover, he kind of looks a bit like Clint Eastwood, you know, poncho and all, like spaghetti western style. Guess that was the thing back in the 70s. Everyone just looked alike. Okay. He's the most famous actor. I went through the list of actors in this film, and there wasn't a great selection of films that I recognised. Maybe I haven't watched enough Gallo films. I have watched a few Dario Argento films and Lucio Fulci, and they do the Gallo movies, but of the ones that the actors of this film were in, not so much. The redhead that escapes, who then comes back at the end and turns out she was working with the cousin, it's a really stupid ending, and then is killed by the new wife, whatever. Her name is Erica Blanca, and she has one credit to her name, this film. And she was in it just to be whipped and run around naked, the same as the first redhead. They just run around naked, and the guy Alan is just whipping them and then trying to kill them. Real issue with Alan's wife character, because her name's Gladys. Now, as I said, she's a strawberry blonde, so you can kind of see why he might still have issues with his dead wife, Evelyn. He keeps hitting her. He tries to strangle her when she puts on a red wig. I'm sorry. There is no way I would stay with a man who hits me and strangles me because he has issues with his dead wife, who he thinks had an affair because he saw her running around naked and having sex with a bloke in the field. I think he's right. I think she had an affair. But everyone keeps saying he thinks she had an affair. I think he witnessed it. We saw it enough times in the film. They keep showing this clip of his wife running around butt-ass naked with another guy running around butt-ass naked. Seriously, there is so much nakedness in this. It could be a sexploitation film. But it's not. It nearly is. It was a good film. It kept my attention for a little while until I dozed off at one point. It's like I said, by the end, I was just like, can we get to the point out who is actually doing this? Because I figured out that it's not Alan. The reason I kind of figured it wasn't Alan was, if you've ever seen Haunted Honeymoon, that's why. It felt like they were trying to scare him to death the same way that they're trying to scare Gene Wilder's character to death. But in this, they're trying to drive him crazy. So as much as that film, Haunted Honeymoon, had a twist ending where it turns out that none of it was real, this one turns out everything was real. And there's a weird fight around a pool. The cousin is pushed into the pool after some sulfuric acid's pushed in or something. So he burns. The film just ends right afterwards with the police dragging away the cousin who's going, I'm burning, and that's it. Credits roll. It's not the best Gallo film I've ever seen. And apparently it's not the best one that Stephen King's ever seen, because he called it an Italian turkey. And I can see why. I prefer Dario Argento. It's twisted. It's not, you're never quite sure what's real and what's not. Lucio Fulci's really into the eye gouging. But I kind of prefer Dario because it's a bit more mystique. So yes, I have watched a few foreign films in my time, but this was probably one of the worst ones I've watched. Would I recommend it? I don't know. Depends on what you're into. Now, if you're into dodgy movies like myself, where you'll sit and watch something and go, right, okay, let's see where this goes, and take the piss out of it, then all for it. If you're looking for a brilliant Italian foreign film, it's probably not the one you want. So, my thoughts are, this is an interesting film, not the best. But I don't know if I've seen the worst Italian Gailo film yet. Maybe I'll have to just keep watching. And perhaps you will too. So, like I say, every week, folks, there's a lot of dodgy films out there. And remember, subscribe, thumbs up, and comment, please. I need feedback. I'm just very needy. Bye.